Okay, how many guys in here have girlfriends? And how many girls in here actually have boyfriends? I'm gonna ask you guys an actual question. The reason why I say this is because there's a very funny question that I have to ask you guys. To who's here? Who in here has a relationship or in a relationship? Hey, did a week ago. I remember. Feels bad, yo yo. Okay, so I guess nobody wants to answer this. So I think people have girlfriends, but they don't want to say it. That's completely fine. Okay, anyways, girlfriend or wife, same thing. Okay. If you guys, for the gentlemen, okay, for the gentlemen, all right, when your girlfriend is or your girlfriend or your wife, whenever they go have their period or their time of the month, time of the month, okay, the time of the month, okay. When your wife or your girlfriend has the time of their month, do you go out and buy her pads and tampons and shit? Yes or no? The pentakill day? That's a funny. That's pretty funny. Sometimes. I remember I had to do it one time. I remember I had to do this one time for one of my very first girlfriends in high school. And she was like, honey, can you go? We used to say honey a lot. Honey was like the very common term of endearment that I used to use back in the day. So we used to say honey a lot, and she was like, honey, can you go to Walmart and get me because Walmart was like really close, and she was like, can you go out and get me like a pad? And I was like, this is like my first time ever hearing this, right? Like I've never done it before. And she didn't she didn't tell me what pad to get, right? She didn't tell me what pad or what tampons to get or whatever. And she's like, honey, can you go get me pads? It's gonna be my time of month. I don't have anything. And I was like, fine. So I went to go get some pads, like at Walmart. So I go there, right? I went to the pharmacy section because that's where all the pads and stuff like and tampons are. And I didn't know exactly where it was, so I asked like the reception. I was like, "Oh hey, can you direct me in the direction? Can you point me in the direction? Direct me in the direction. Can you point me in the direction of pads and tampons, please?" And it was like an older lady, okay. And she goes, "Oh yeah, it's in the 14 aisle, whatever the aisle was called. It's in the 14th aisle." And she had like the biggest smile on her face, right? She was like the smile as in, oh, you're such a sweet boyfriend, right? And or you're such a sweet like husband or whatever she thought. And so I go into the aisle, the pad aisles with tampons and shit. And I was like, I didn't know what to get. So there was an old lady, like there's an old lady shopping there as well. Okay. She was also shopping there. And she sees me looking through all these pads and these tampons and shit, and the lady comes up to me, or she like walks beside me, and she sees me looking through like I have like 3 pads in my hand, like 3 of like the different brands and stuff in my hand, and she looks at me, she sees me struggling on finding out what pads to use, and she goes, do you need any help, dear? And I'm like, in my head, I wanted to be macho. You know, I wanted to be like the know-it-all, the knowledgeable boyfriend that knew exactly what I wanted to be. I don't know why I thought this. I need to impress this old lady, even though she didn't need to be impressed whatsoever, right? I just thought, you know what? Let's just impress this old lady and find out exactly what I need. Okay, so I was holding the heavy flow, the heavy flow pad, right? And I was like, you know what? I'll just get this, And so I bought the heavy flow pad. And if you guys don't know heavy flows on girls, when they have their period and it's a heavy flow, it means it's the beginning of their period, which means they have a heavy flow of blood that comes down. Okay, and it's usually at the beginning of their period. Okay, and my girl at the time, it was like near the ending of her month, right? So it was no longer heavy flow. So heavy flow is kind of like a diaper. It's huge. It's big and it covers it like it retains a lot of blood. Okay. And yes, I know everything about girls. So I got the heavy flow, which my girl at the time didn't need heavy flow. So I ended up getting the heavy flow, so I went back, and the old lady was like, "Oh yeah, okay, very nice." So I ended up buying the heavy flow. I went back, and the girl was like, my girl at the time, she was like, "Oh, thanks, babe, for getting me the, or thanks, honey, thanks for getting my pads for me." And I'm like, no problem, babe. Mwah, no problem. I felt so proud of myself, you know, right? I felt so happy and proud that I got the correct pad in my mind. I was like so proud of myself. I was like, yeah, good job, Yellow. You did a good fucking job today, man. Man, you're so good. You're such a good boyfriend, right? And then she opens the bag, the Walmart bag, the plastic Walmart bag. She opens it up, takes out the fucking pads, and then she started screaming downstairs, because I went to the washroom, right? She started screaming downstairs, and I'm like, what the fuck just happened? Like, I thought she got a pad, like she'd like be happy about this. And she yells at me. She's like, "Honey, come down here." And I was like, hold on. I'm in the washroom. Can you give me a sec? And she's like, "No! Come down here now!" And I'm like, what the fuck? What the fuck just happened, dude? And it's like, come down after my pee. I didn't even finish peeing, okay? I peed like halfway. I was like mid-pee. I peed like halfway, and mid-pee, I had to like, you know, suck up my urine back into my pelvis. Okay? And then I come downstairs, and I was like, okay, what happened? And she's like, "You fucking bought me a diaper!" She was like, "You bought me a diaper!" And I was like, "What do you mean a diaper?" And then she takes out the pad, like this heavy flow pad, right? She takes out the heavy flow pad, and she looks at me, and she's like, "Look! It's huge!" And she was like, "It's huge!" And she's a tiny girl, right? And she looks at it, and she takes out the fucking pad, and she presses it against herself, and she's like, "It's huge! How the fuck do I wear this?" And I was like, "I don't know, man." I was like, "I don't know." Are you supposed to just put it on somehow? And then she's like, it's too big. Like, look at me. Look at it. Oh my god, I was laughing for like 15 minutes. Oh my god, it was actually so funny. Holy shit. It was so fucking funny. She's like, "It's huge." Oh my god. It was actually too funny. And then, yeah. And then I ended up, she was like, "Go buy different ones, go return this." I ended up going back to return it. And then I found out that you can't return pads if you open them. So I couldn't return it. So I just ended up buying another, the ones that she wanted. Great lesson from my very first time getting pads. But ever since then, I knew exactly what pads she wanted at all times. And then she wanted to use, like, she also eventually wanted to use tampons and stuff. Which is like, usually girls wear tampons if they have to go to the beach or if they have to go out. It's much more convenient to use a tampon than like an actual pad, so. Girls use tampons if they have to wear like a thong or a G-string or some shit like that. So, just like, some more knowledge for you guys, alright? Is that why we broke up? No, we actually dated for like 7 years. And it's probably why I know so much about girls and like their lifestyle and stuff, is because in 7 years I learned literally everything I could about her. So I learned like so much. But yeah. It was definitely really fun, for sure. I definitely learned a lot.